You're listening to Chillify, the place that captures your sorrows and returns to the world a whole, happy, and peaceful you. Another year has passed. Looking back at the journey, we must feel a pang of regret. Humans are creatures prone to nostalgia, but sometimes we also need to slow down to reflect on the old fragments in our hearts, to understand pain and gently embrace those ugly emotions, to love ourselves more, to make room for peace and happiness. In recent days, Chillify has received thousands of unsent letters from you. Don't worry, we will send your words into the universe. Even though these letters may no longer reach their intended recipients, one thing is certain: your heart will feel lighter. So, don't hesitate to send those letters to Chillify. And now, let's begin this episode of Unsent Letters, Part 2, on the topic of toxic relationships. Just like chemical toxins, some relationships drain a person's energy, leaving them exhausted both physically and mentally. The signs of a toxic relationship are when the toxic person always wants to control you, always believes they are right, doesn't care about your thoughts, and makes you constantly feel unsafe in that relationship. The first letter comes from a listener with the nickname Han. I once had a group of 3 close friends. I was the one who created it and also the one who was pushed out. The other 2 said I was selfish, arrogant, and unwilling to put myself in others' shoes. But if I did that, what would I get in return? I knew they said that just to find an excuse to push me away because they were the selfish, arrogant ones. I was the one who was always forgiving. But in the end, all I got was a cold shoulder, constant criticism. I was so scared, I felt like I was going insane. That night, I cried my heart out, but the next day, I still put on a bright smile at school. I knew that if I showed any sadness now, I would become their laughingstock. I later found a new group of friends, but they weren't really compatible with me. The shadow of those 2 still lingers within me. It's been 3 months since that day, and every day I carry an indescribable feeling. I'm not happy, but I can't even bring myself to be sad. I see them every day because we're in the same class. They laugh and talk every day. I see myself in their behavior. I know it's something they picked up from me, but it bothers me so much because without me, they're still the same. Only I am sinking deep into an endless black hole. In friendships, there will indeed be moments of unspoken difficulties. It might even reach a point where we can no longer be friends. The isolation from friends can make you feel suffocated. At that moment, please consider what you truly need. If you can, try to speak up first to understand the issues between you two, then to see if you and that person can still be friends, and finally, to resolve the toxic behaviors they inflicted upon you. The second letter comes from a listener with the nickname Mio. Every day, I cry under my blanket. I've completely lost trust in my new friends. They isolate me, badmouth me. The more I tried to endure, the more they badmouthed me. I truly miss my old best friends. They never isolated me. Sometimes, the things that seem the warmest, closest, and most familiar can inflict the deepest wounds on our hearts. Room sent us a letter about their family. I wonder if my parents truly love me. After school, all I receive are curses. Many times, I just want to go home. Many people say being alone in your own house is lonely, but I like it. I get to be free. I don't have to listen to my parents' venomous words. My parents always want to build a perfect image in my friends' eyes, so everyone thinks my parents are wonderful. But no one knows their other side. Silently, I watch other children my age playing happily, and I feel so hurt. There were times when I got bad grades, and my mom would say, "One more time and I'll kill you." On the outside, I remained silent, but inside, I just wanted her to kill me then and there, quickly, without waiting for another time, because I honestly didn't care about this life anymore. And there were times when I cut myself. My mom accidentally saw it, and instead of comforting or asking what was wrong, she hit me on the head and cursed me, calling me a crazy person who belonged in a mental hospital. I ask myself, am I merely existing, or am I truly living? Of course, when we talk about toxic relationships, we can't forget about love. Reading these letters, we sense resentment, regret, and sometimes, gentle forgiveness. We only hope that when pieces of your heart break, you won't blindly step on them again. Even if your heart doesn't feel more pain this time, a little bit of good blood will have drained away. The next letter is from a listener with the nickname Luna. It's strange, but I want to love and yet I'm incredibly afraid. This is because the haunting memories of my past relationship still linger. My ex said, "You're an overthinker and your family situation is complicated, so I can no longer be with the person you are. You truly exhaust me so much. Someone like you is difficult to love and be with. Our love ends here. I'm sorry." And then he just quietly left. Oh, so I don't deserve to be loved. My mother taught me that everyone deserves love, so am I the exception? Right, I couldn't even keep the one I loved, so what else can I ask for? Therefore, if I truly love someone, I should let them be, because no one can accept me. The fifth letter is from TN. My dear, I wish we had never met. I wish you had never found this place. You were the one who actively sought out my life, giving me so much hope and trust, only to take it all away one day and leave me here alone. The emptiness of having gone too far towards you, the exhaustion of having to drag myself back to where I was and find myself again. The day I realized you didn't only care about me, that you came to me with selfish intentions, that you just liked to play with everyone's feelings, I just gave a bitter smile. I suggested we stop contacting each other and asked you to give me one last path to return to myself. It's sad, isn't it? When you told me I needed to experience more, learn more about love, I never thought you would be the one to teach me. You're awful. I hope I can quickly remove you from my mind. After a year together, I ask you, please let me graduate early from this love course. Farewell. The sixth letter is from a listener with the nickname Bong. This happened quite a while ago. I got together with him because I hoped I could heal his wounds. I knew he loved me very much, but the way he expressed his affection made it impossible for me to continue. He also loved to argue about right and wrong with me when all I wanted was for him to concede a little, to give in just a tiny bit. Truly, just a little would have made me so happy. But for him, right and wrong, good and bad, were more important than anything else, and my feelings didn't matter as much. I'm quite a crybaby, so I cried a lot when we were together. He used to say he loved me when he saw me cry, but later, when we argued, he would say things like, "You're lucky you can cry. What about me? I can't cry." Or, "You're lucky you have friends to confide in. I have to talk to my knee." I cried so much, everyone. I don't know what wrong step I took in our relationship. Once, feeling utterly exhausted and like I was a burden, I asked him, "Was I the one who brought chains to you?" "Yes," that was his answer. Just one word, "yes," was enough to shatter me completely. Do you understand, everyone? That feeling of being together only to realize, oh, so I'm a burden, a pressure on the other person. I loved him and I didn't demand material things, I truly didn't. Both of us were living on our parents' allowances, so I didn't ask for anything. The only thing I asked for was care and gentleness. I don't like hot-tempered people, I don't like people who yell in my face, but he gradually became that person, until I couldn't take it anymore. After crying too much and feeling too exhausted, I decided to end it. Up until the moment we broke up, he still thought he was in the right. Meaning, there was no compromise for me. I guess I made the right decision, didn't I? Because after we broke up, I lived more comfortably, I became more outgoing, joined clubs, made many new friends, spent more time with my family, and I found peace. I hope he did too. Honestly, right after the breakup, I hated him a little because I didn't expect him to just block me on Facebook and Zalo so bluntly. I was a bit shocked, but then I got over it. I realized that romantic relationships are just a small part of our lives. Without it, we can still live well, and even better. But dear listener, 100 million raindrops fall, and not a single one falls in the wrong place. I believe no relationship in this life is meaningless. If our encounter didn't lead to a shared ending, it's simply natural because everyone is born with their own destination. If our journey together was filled with happiness, that's luck. If it was shattered and painful, consider it a lesson. Let all things be as fate wills. When an old fate ends, a new one arrives. In the book Understanding the Heart, Zen Master Min Neem wrote, "To accept fate is to willingly accept what happens in the present, to temporarily cease struggling, and calmly await the convergence of suitable conditions." Often, this very attitude of ceasing to struggle and calmly waiting is the important condition that connects us to other beautiful fates. I also believe this, so I hope you will relax, let everything pass, and truly live. Honestly, no one loves us more than ourselves. Don't blame yourself for doing anything wrong that led you to endure those toxic relationships. It's also fate, perhaps a meeting meant to happen once so that the next person who comes automatically becomes a benevolent connection. I hope you find your own life, so that whatever fate comes, your peaceful heart transforms it into a benevolent connection, so that the wish, if only, no longer lingers in your mind. I hope you soon realize that no encounter is meaningless in the process of your heart's growth. Finally, to conclude this radio episode, let's listen to a poem sent by a listener with the nickname TDW. Then one day, you were no longer in me. My heart found peace once more. And now I hope, my dear, that both of us have found the right path. And dear, my only last wish is to forget you as easily as my tears fall. If only I didn't have to say, if only. Where could I give this heart to you from? Seeing the turning frames like a movie reel. Seeing you so sad, silently searching. We're like whispers within four walls. We're like reflections in that mirror. For so long, so bad. Please don't return to my dreams tonight. Cold lips coming back in frames that have now drifted far away. Don't return to my dreams tonight. When one mistake has already caused so much pain. When there's no one left